Hello and welcome to my game view on Sonic Generations. To start with, we have the menu select and the character selection screen. Basically it's just a hub. There is progression in the game, but it's just restricted to what zones you can access at what point in the story you are. The challenges, once you've completed a zone, appear above them, and you can do some basic platforming to get there. The regular zones, you don't need to do that. Okay, to show the gameplay from modern Sonic perspective, I'm going to do a challenge. In this challenge I'm going to be racing Tails in his little airplane. Now you may notice that you start off in the 2D perspective. That's fine because modern Sonic can move between the two, but what often happens is you get this strange perspective like from the side, which sort of gives the illusion of 3D even though he's running in the 2D. This lock-on mechanic and rails is signature of the modern Sonic games. The rails, I think, first appeared in Sonic Heroes, and the lock-on mechanic, although I haven't played them, I think it's either from Sonic Unleashed or from Sonic Colors. As you can see, the standard springs maintained from the original Sonic franchise, but you can lock onto them. Sonic, when he's modern, doesn't have the spinball mechanic as he does in the first games, but he can do this boost instantly. You must kill enemies or get rings to maintain the boost meter. As you can see now, I've moved into the 3D realm fairly seamlessly, and if I was to stop, I could actually move around. Another signature thing from the modern Sonic approach is these aerial combos, which you can move the left stick as many times as you can and then push the bumpers before you land. One of the keys of doing a Sonic level as modern Sonic effectively is to know when to chain aerial moves. It's very easy to get stopped by objects, and locking onto targets and jumping at the right time is key to finishing it quickly. Right, let's have a look at the gameplay for past Sonic. So we'll just change to him, and we'll do Green Hill Act 1, the actual zone, not a challenge. Now this is a remastered version of the very first level that was ever made for Sonic, so some people might recognise it, and I selected the original music just for good old nostalgia, which I unlocked earlier. The basic feel of Sonic from his old days is retained. He essentially stays in the 2D plane the entire time. Occasionally, like modern Sonic, they do that trick where they change the camera to make it look like he's 3D, just to make it a little bit more interesting, but he stays in the 2D the whole time. There are no new gimmicky things added. The gimmicks were added to modern Sonic, and that's why he has them. In fact, the whole point of Sonic Generations was to go back and bring forward these traditional Sonic platforming styles that used to be used, and to apply more sort of modern graphical tweaks like changing the camera to make it that little bit much more interesting. When playing as past Sonic, you'll find that the old style platforming is very sort of prevalent, really. The modern style has sort of forsaken these spring and jump based puzzles and loops in favour of high speed sections where you have to move out of the way of objects rather than this old stuff, and I think that people who really like the old style will find this a faithful recreation. Okay, that wraps up my game view for Sonic Generations. For the full review, please check out the link in the description over at the site. My name is Vico, and thank you for watching.